Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Sanjana. In this video, we are going to discuss about inter-VLAN routing using multi-layer switch. We will also be doing some basic VLAN configuration, VTP and DHCP configurations for VLANs. So before we proceed further with understanding about configuration, let's understand what is inter-VLAN routing. Okay, so inter-VLAN routing can be defined as a way to forward traffic between different VLANs by implementing a layer 3 device in the network. And a layer 3 device can also be a router or it can also be a multi-layer switch. And we have three different types of inter-VLAN routing. And they are legacy inter-VLAN routing, which was a legacy solution which is no more used these days. And the second type of inter-VLAN routing is router on a stick, which is an acceptable solution for small to medium sized network. And finally, we have layer 3 multi-layer switch, where we are going to use a SVI, which is also called as a switched virtual interface. This is one of the most scalable solution for medium to large scale organization. Let's get started with the lab and learn about the configuration. And here we will be using a multi-layer switch so that you should be able to ping from different VLANs. Here we have two switches connected to the multi-layered switch, and we will be creating a DHCP pool within this multi-layer switch so that these PCs will automatically get the IP address assigned from the DHCP. Okay, and we will be creating VLANs within this multi-layer switch and then configure the multi-layer switch as a VTP mode server, and the two switches here will be VTP mode client with a domain Cisco. Okay, at the end of this lab, we will verify if we can ping from this PC which is present in VLAN 10 to the other PCs which is present in VLAN 20. Let's start with the configuration on the multi-layer switch now. Enable mode, configuration, interface. Let's create a VLAN first. So VLAN 10 for the IT team. Okay. And name it IT. We have one more VLAN for VLAN 20, name HR. Okay, so we just created two VLANs. Let's configure the multi-layer switch and enable for IP routing. IP routing. Okay, next step. VTP mode, server. And domain, VTP, domain, Cisco. Okay, now we need to assign the IP address for the SPIs. That is for interface VLAN 10 and for the interface VLAN 20. So interface VLAN 10. IP address. Here the IP address is, we have two different subnet here, 192.168.1.0 and 172.16.1.0. So we have reserved 1.3 on this port and 172.16.1.3 for this port, which is also a default router for these two PCs over here. And this is of course going to be the default router for these two PCs. Okay. So let's assign the IP address 192.168.1.3/24. Okay, exit. We have one more interface, VLAN 20. Let's assign the IP address 172.16.1.3/25. Okay, exit. Okay, but between these two switches, there needs to be trunk. Okay, and similarly, between this switch 1 and multi-layer switch, there needs to be a trunk. So let's enable the trunk encapsulation.1Q. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1, switch port, trunk, encapsulation.1Q. Okay, similarly on this port, configuration mode, interface fast Ethernet 0/, this is 2. Switch port, trunk, encapsulation.1Q. Okay. All right. That's with the configuration of multi-layer switch. Let's move to switch 0. We will also need to configure DHCP here on multi-layer switch. We need to create 2 pools here. One is for VLAN 10 and one more is for VLAN 20. IP DHCP pool VLAN_10 network. This is in 192.168.0 network. Default router 192.168.1.3. Exit. And don't forget to exclude the IP address that we have reserved for the default router. 192.168.1.3 is the excluded IP address. And we have one more DHCP pool that needs to be assigned for VLAN 20. So let's create the pool, DHCP pool VLAN_20. Okay, network. So this is 172.16.1.0 network. /24. Exit. Okay, you need to give a default router here. Default router is 172.16.1.3. Okay. Exit. IP DHCP excluded. We are going to reserve this 172.16.1.3 IP address that is assigned for the default route. Okay, so that's with the configuration of the multi-layer switch. Let's move to switch 0. Configuration. Interface. Fast Ethernet 0/3. Switch port mode trunk. We have 2 port here that we need to configure for switch port access. So exit. Interface range command, because we can configure 2 port together. Access. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. Okay. Show run. Okay, so this is trunk. The 2 ports are access port for the 2 PCs. And we need to configure VTP mode client. VTP mode client. VTP domain Cisco. Let's verify. Show VLAN. Brief. The 2 ports are being configured for VLAN 10. Let's move to switch 1. Interface. First Ethernet 0/3 needs to be a trunk. Switch port mode, trunk. Okay. And we have the 2 port here assigned for the 2 PCs, and that needs to be an access port. So interface range, fast Ethernet 0/1 to 2. Switch port mode access, switch port access, VLAN 20. Okay, exit. And we need to give VTP mode, client. VTP, domain, Cisco. Oh, it's taken from Cisco to C. Let's change this. VTP mode, client, VTP, domain, Cisco. Okay. All right. So you're not getting that error because we had my mistake C, and that's why you got this error, and now you don't get it because the domain should be the same. Okay. In order for this VTP to work. Okay. So let's verify. Show VTP status. Domain is Cisco. Client mode. Let's verify here. Show VTP status. Server. And it is client. Domain name is Cisco. Okay. All right. So we have configured the switch 0 and switch 1 in multi-layer switch. Let's verify if the PCs are able to get the IP address automatically. Okay, this is 1.2. That's what the IP address is assigned by the DHCP. And here, 1.1. .2, this is right. 1.1. Okay, so all the PCs have got the IP address automatically from the DHCP. Let's try to ping from one of the PC present in VLAN 10 to another PC present in VLAN 20. Ping. Let's try this PC here, PC3. 172.16.1.1. It may take a while for the first time. Yeah, that worked. You may see 25% loss. If you try to ping again, 172.16.1.1, you should be seeing 0% loss. There we go. Okay, so we have been able to establish the traffic connectivity between the pieces which is present in different subnet. Okay, so 192.168.1.0 is class C and this is class B. So though they are present in different network, we can establish connectivity using the inter-VLAN routing using multi-layer switch. So this completes the lab for today. Please don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos, and thank you for watching.